Hello friends, welcome to Akulmach Science Show, and today we will discuss about something called masers. As you can see, the topic is given at the top. The masers sounds very similar to lasers. So what is so specific in masers? Let us find out. Well, in order to understand measures, we also need to explore our universe, study some of these objects which exist in our space and time, and come up with an explanation. So, to start our journey in understanding measures, we need to understand this object called MWC349A. Very interesting name, MWC349A. What this stands for? Well, friends, this is actually a name of a star. And when scientists actually name stars, they can be coming out with very different crazy algorithms. And based on that, these stars are named as and when they are found out. And what is so specific about these stars? Well, this is a very bright star, very powerful, almost 40 times the size of our sun, 40 times bigger than our sun. It is blue in color, and blue stars are some of the most energetic star in our universe, and therefore it's much bigger. It's blue in color, it's a young star, it is shining very bright, and it is about 4,000 light years away from Earth. So 4,000, it's very far off. Even light takes 4,000 years from Earth to reach this star. But from the galactical standpoint, it is a blink of an eye. So even though this is very far off, it is visible in the night sky in the Cygnus constellation. So if you look in the direction of Cygnus constellation, you will be able to see this star. And the interesting part of this star is that it is actually generating masers. And now you must wonder that how a natural object can create something called masers. Well, maser is sort of a beam very similar to laser, and this particular star is emitting masers from both of its pole, north as well as south. So that is why this is so interesting, and this actually gives us a little cue that masers may be similar to lasers, and these masers which are getting emitted are coming out from the poles at a blistering speed of 500 kilometers per second. It is very fast. 500 kilometers per second is almost 20% of the speed of light. Very fast. It is not the fastest thing, but still very fast. So therefore, now you must be imagining that masers must be very energetic. Of course, they are quite energetic, and they are very similar to lasers. Well, in order to understand masers even more in detail, we have to step back in time. And in 1960, for the very first time, scientists recognized that the masers or the maser beams, very similar to laser beams, can be emitted by natural objects. Natural objects like stars, black hole, neutron stars are all capable of generating masers. Even molecular clouds can generate masers. And therefore, this is very important for us to understand the nature of the universe, because these are some of the most energetic beams which can be generated by natural objects. Well, in many ways, masers are similar to lasers, but not as energetic as lasers. But still, you should not underestimate masers. They are very powerful, and unlike lasers, which are made of photons of various types, masers are made of radiation. So wherever there are high concentration of radioactive material, lot of radiation, and there is a lot of magnetism, such beams can be created. And if there is a huge amount of magnetism in a certain part of the space time, the magnetism will be able to focus the particles, charged particles, or the radioactive particles coming out from that high concentration of energy center into a beam. And therefore, masers are basically a short form of microwave amplification, very similar to light. Lasers are made of light amplification. So masers are the microwave amplification of the radiation itself. So if there are masers, if you see these jets, the chances are these are the radioactive particles of different radioactive processes happening inside that object. But because of this process, the radiation is being generated. At the same time, very high strong amount of gravity as well as magnetism being produced in that localized area, and because of that masers can be generated from the poles of magnetic poles on both sides, and it's basically focusing of very high energy beam of radiation which will travel vast distances in space, and these are what we call masers, and these are coming out from this star which has been recently formed, not very recent from the human standpoint, but from the universe standpoint, it's a young star emitting a lot of radiation, very very large star, blue in color. It is burning very rapidly, producing a lot of radiation, lot of radioactive material, and very high magnetism. And therefore this star gives us a good opportunity to understand masers, and also understand the nature of objects which can generate these high energy beams, which can be fatal if we are standing in the line of this particular beam, because these masers are entirely made of radiation, and they are focused like a beam to travel vast distances. So friends, if you have a question on this subject, kindly feel free to send in your comments. As always, thanks for watching, and I will catch you again in the next edition of Science Show. Until then, bye bye.